that was meant to debunk, but yeah,
Everyone.
yeah.
I'm shooting my
Are you guys
hands.
gonna watch Dragon Ball Daima when it comes out?
Yes.
I'm
Maybe
kind of
not
excited
immediately.
for it.
But
I saw some maybe not
What's the
immediately.
date? What's the date?
I'll check it out.
Today's date is the 6th.
No,
No,
Daima.
the date it come out.
Oh, I don't know. Quick Google search, I'm sure you can find out. But yeah, I was watching some Geekdom stuff. He dropped some news about it. Take
Yeah.
that with a grain of salt. But the whole like demon world stuff, that seems so interesting. Like a demon civil war and Goku gets involved. Some Majin Buu stuff. I don't even like the Majin Buu saga, but hopefully this can like maybe make it a little bit better. It's like a continuation of it.
Yeah,
I'm
problem
kind
with
of getting hyped for
Geekdom.
it.
Geekdom's kind of like us, where he'll just make a video if an animator sneezes, and that gets publicized. So you gotta really look when there's an actual update compared to not an actual update that he calls an update. But other than that, it's pretty good to watch.
True, true, true. I mean, well, perhaps true. Okay, I'm say true, and then have
I will
somebody
say, I
pulling
will
up on me.
say, Geekdom like really revitalized the like Dragon Ball YouTube world because it was a lot of clickbait, and he really focused on actually bringing like accurate news. So I
Yeah,
always got respect for him for that.
he a real one.
Yeah, I think he has like maybe just the way he speaks, he kind of gets like annoyed about the whole
You can
if
tell.
things he says doesn't really come to pass type of stuff. So I think maybe he'll be more inclined to hey, this is a little bit more solidified because he seems that it seems like that really bothers him, like what other people kind of think about his coverage of stuff. So I don't know, but either way, like just the idea of it, even if it's just like a theory or whatever, you want to
Man,
theorize
this
with it.
says
I think it
Dragon
sounds
Ball
fun.
Daima is just coming out 2024. It doesn't say when.
Mm,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah. Well, I think maybe once they start like revving up the promotion, you get like maybe like the gist of it or whatever. I mean, 2024 is almost up anyway, so um, yeah, so that'll be pretty
Mm,
interesting. Well, that'll be pretty interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited for it. New stories, new designs. I hope we get Super Saiyan 4.
It
I
says
really
fall
hope we get Super Saiyan
2024.
4. Yeah, I hope we get Super Saiyan 4. I want that shit to be like I hope Diamond's canon, number one. And I hope like we get Super Saiyan 4. And yeah, like have that shit be like stronger than like I don't know if it'd be stronger than UI. Super
You
Saiyan
know,
4 UI? Oh my god, it'd be so
you
fucking
don't want them
powerful.
to continue Super at all.
Um um I mean maybe this can be like an in-between wherever they stopped. Because like they stopped at the tournament of power for God's sakes.
Mhm.
So like this could happen in between that and like the Moro stuff, I think. I wouldn't mind them adapting the super stuff, but I'm kind of ready to get to like post Z and get to like Oob, get to like Pan growing
Yeah.
up. Like I want to get to like that kind of era. Um, I'm kind of sick of this. Like they've packed so much in this little what was it, like a 10-year time frame. I don't
Mhm.
even think all this stuff was possible in 10 years, but they just packed that shit full. So I'm kind of I want I don't know, bro. Like I want as much as I want them to do like stuff with them, like I want to go to Universe 6. I want to go to I want to see Hit. I want to fight Hit again. Like I want to see like the whole Saiyans there. I want to it's like a bunch of others. Like the Demon World shit in Daima sounds so fucking compelling. Like it's so fresh and interesting. Like this magic. I like the magical stuff. I just don't like the bullshit. But like that stuff is really cool. It feels more Dragon Ball, more adventure. That's what I want, more adventure. And then like maybe at the ass end of Daima, give me Super Saiyan 4, but like everything up, like at most, give me like Ultra Instinct. Not the silver hair or whatever, just like he's
They'll
using
hold
it
your breath.
maybe like a little bit. Um, like
They'll hold
how
your breath.
Master Roshi did it without transforming. I don't want no Super Saiyans, no God, no nothing. Like if I get a transformation, say that shit to like the very, very end. I think that could be
You
interesting.
think you think they're gonna get any transformations? I don't think they're gonna go that route.
If they don't, I won't be mad. If they do, I just want Super Saiyan 4. If they don't give a new if they don't give a new canon transformation, then they just do Super Saiyan and call it a day. I think that'll be fun. But I
I
don't want like fucking the color rainbow fucking arsenal. I don't want that shit at all.
I hate to say it. I think you're leading yourself up to be disappointed. I don't think they're gonna go past the Z timeline, or at least I'm not looking for them to. I'm not expecting it. The same with whether it's
Wait,
canon
in
or
Daima?
filler. Yeah, like I don't need it to be canon. I'm watching it more so for the enjoyability factor than like the plot or story or whatever they're gonna do narratively with that. That's not why I'm interested in watching that. I don't think it's gonna be like a kiddish anime. I think they're still gonna do their own thing, but I think they're also gonna include transformations as well. If not anything, at least for the marketing or toys or whatever, it's just
Mm,
gonna feel more iconic. But even then, even with all that, if you want to like look beyond Z or all these other things, you have fan animations, you still got the manga, you got other creators making their own cool things. So you still got a lot of stuff you can look forward to with that.
yeah. I just well, as far as Daima go, I don't expect that to go past Z. But just like the franchise in general. Just I'm ready to get past this era. Um
Mm.
I mean, it's been over 10 years, man. I know it hasn't felt like it, at least for me, but like it's been over 10 years with this super shit.
I don't know, to a
Like
way, I
in
feel like
real
Z is a
life.
good ending. Like Goku sort of hangs up the towel, the new generation's coming in, he's gonna go train them.
I do too.
Especially after
I
what
do too.
happened with
I think
GT,
we
I don't think we're ever gonna get that.
I like GT. Well, I don't love it. I do think there's some great elements there. That's what I would say. It's like Majin Buu Saga. Like there's elements there I like, but I don't like. I wouldn't watch that shit again if you paid me. But I I like some elements. Yeah, my point is I agree with you. I think they should get past Goku. They should get past Vegeta and
Mm.
create new characters. I don't want to say it like this, but sorry, my PlayStation's like a fucking jet engine. I'm gonna turn this shit off really quick. Um, I don't want to say it like this, but like with Toriyama's passing, maybe it's time to, create some new characters because they're going to continue the IP,
Yeah.
period. So maybe it's time to create some new characters. And look, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I don't want to skip Oobs and Pan's era. I wouldn't be mad if we did. Like
Okay.
maybe they're like, in their 30s, 40s, and they train the show's about their students. Maybe.
Mm. Okay.
I don't know.
I haven't seen much of GT. Well, I've seen technically all of it, but I never watched it. I never sat down and, like watched it from start to end. Know everything that happens, obviously. It's okay. It's like not the best, not the worst. I could rewatch it because I never actually watched it. um, what else did you say?
It's not that great. It's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
great, but it's like it has some
It's
great
fine.
elements for
I
sure.
definitely think in some ways, I mean, it's called Dragon Ball Z. The Z is because it's supposed to be the end. So it almost
Mhm.
feels like in some way disrespectful to have it go beyond. But I don't know if Toriyama would care. But I mean, I think Toriyama's passing would change everything, like you're saying. That sort of changes the game.
Yeah. No, I guess maybe I think Dragon Ball as a franchise just needs like a revamp, like refresh it, do
Mm.
something different, like maybe bring in some different genres to like spice it up a little bit, maybe some horror, maybe some I don't know, it feels like the same old formulaic approach, you know.
I think the only way we would ever get rid of Goku and Vegeta is if we're already safe. We already have a set of characters that is more popular than them. Until we get that, I don't think they're ever going to drop Goku and Vegeta. I don't
They
think they
just
would
don't
take the
seem to
risk.
be capable.
From
They
the
don't seem
leaks
to be,
I just saw right now, it looks like it's just Kid Goku.
no, that's well, based on the leaks you just saw. Um,
I sent you a second one.
they don't seem to be capable of creating or have a desire to create like those new characters,
I
which is
thought
so weird.
GT
I mean,
was the doing of it. Like they did stuff with Oob.
but like Oob came so late, and like I would have thought
And
like
Super
maybe
too. Super as well. And
Well, the point is that it's coming after Goku, right? So yeah, it did come late. That's like almost the point.
I mean, like, but to create an actual character that will surpass Goku in terms of, or even live up to Goku in terms of like being popular enough to take the torch from that character, so we can move into a new era of the series. Like when Oob was introduced in GT, there was so much shit that came before that people just despised. By the time he actually showed up and started to cook,
Okay.
it wasn't really
Okay.
anything major. And then when he did
Mm.
show up, he didn't really do too much. He had like a moment, and then he
Yeah.
became Majub.
Yeah, see, I didn't know all
that
that.
was cool, but like yeah.
It didn't
I
last
just saw
long
that.
either.
Yeah, I just saw that Majub clip. I assumed he was more relevant and more early as well. So if that's
No,
true, I'd have
Nah,
to see
you gotta
it.
watch
But
it.
all right, all right.
Yeah,
Oop's not relevant at
yeah,
all in GT,
at all.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's like
it was
it's
a
like
disappointment.
it's the Trunks Pan Goku show, and then for a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, and then it's just a Goku show, and then Vegeta
Goku
kind of
Vegeta.
comes in a little bit, and then after that, it's just ends.
Okay, well, still, I
But
mean, without having seen that, even with that, I would still be completely fine if Oob was the new main character going forwards after
I would be
Goku.
too. You have to develop him though. That's the thing, and I think one of the major problems is that like the powers are too high. Like Oob right now, what he has like what God Key or something because he's like a reincarnation of Kid Buu. Kid Buu got God Key in like the what was it, the moral arc or some shit. Like he's too strong, bro. Like
Because he has the Supreme Kai in him, and then Buu absorbs Supreme Kai.
yeah, like from the onset, he's too strong. Like there's nothing for him to build up to. He's being trained. He's being trained by like the guy on planet Earth by Goku. So like he's gonna come out the gate, wherever he's at is like God tier minimum. It's like man, I don't know, man. Like just I think I could write a story. Like if I was like hired, I could definitely write like a really compelling Dragon Ball story that I think would add like depth and complexity and ideology but I don't know if Dragon Ball even wants to go there as a franchise, but I think it
Yeah.
needs to be honest. But yeah, I'm
I
excited
don't know if
for
it needs
what it
to.
is.
The Broly movie didn't do that at all, in my opinion, and everyone loved it.
I think it added some depth.
It has I think
But
it's
yeah,
the
no,
like the most minimal amount of depth. Like it's there, but like it's not the movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Um, it's just like it does. So when you say, so when I say like it needs to, I'm more so thinking about like from an artistic standpoint,
Okay.
like someone who like loves this universe and wants it to flourish and grow, like grow the fuck up. like yeah, grow up, bro. Like I was a kid when I was watching this shit and you doing the same type of shit now that I'm an adult. Like I want this shit to grow. And I think there's so much you can do with Dragon Ball. And I think they kind of they scraped so very little of the surface with the Zamasu stuff. They just fucked it up towards the end. But the Zamasu stuff was heavy. Like that
Yeah.
shit where like Boma gets like wiped away from the explosion so effortlessly, like she was just like dust in the wind. He had to watch his mother die. And once again, go back to the future or to this parallel universe, and then beg his father for help and all this bullshit. And they come back, and then they have to deal with this shit. And then Goku finds out like Black took over his body and murdered his wife and child and killed him in front of them. And he like rages out about like that shit's heavy. That's some good shit. They just they're never willing to like take it far enough. I think the ideology of Zamasu. This is why I say Zamasu has the potential to be the best villain in the entire franchise. Period, bar none. Like nobody, he wins. Nobody stops him. He murders Goku. He wipes out like all the Kais, which means he wipes out all the gods of destruction. That shit Frieza wants to do, he did. Like straight up. Like this dude wins. Like it took like some bullshit. Like oh Zeno, I'm gonna push a button. Then like this the god of gods comes through and does some magic, and then he loses. Like this dude became like I think omnipotent or omnipresent or I don't, some shit like that. He won. Like he won, to be honest. And I think his like ideology, like mortals are inferior creatures. They're like very like disgusting and like destructive. But then also he's like hypocritical because he wants to become what they are. He wants to like have a mortal's power in Goku. So he becomes the very thing that he despises without actually realizing it. And like the whole like him morphing into this ugly beast with his immortality reflects like his inside. Like all of that shit is like really there's something there is what I'm saying. And they just didn't they're capable of getting like starting the race, but they're not capable of finishing it in the first place. Maybe something like that.
They definitely removed that
I don't know.
serious DNA that Dragon Ball Z had to where it feels like losing doesn't matter anymore. They've almost removed the stakes. So even if the main character loses,
They've been removed it
exactly.
a
It's not
long
really
time
a
ago.
suffering loss in a way, in the same way it was with Z. Even you could argue in the Cell arc it felt like that, but then they brought it back for Boo. But I think that's only my interpretation.
Oh wait, well, Master Roshi, he would have died from old age or natural causes, and they wouldn't be able to bring him back. Well, the Super Dragon Balls, that was another plot hole. So never mind.
Okay. Well, no, I agree though that it tries to do some things, and those things are good. It just doesn't go far enough. Honestly, that's like one of the complaints that me and Kamui have been having recently with Boruto and a couple other things. But yeah, I don't know. You seem to
I feel
disagree with
like
that though.
I feel like if they get rid of the Dragon Balls, but just get rid of that shit, bro. Like have like
The name of the
some god the
series.
godly Namekian
Like they did in GT.
well they
Dragon
had
Balls
like
are
the
in
kind of
GT.
dark ones,
Yeah.
the Black Star, but like
You
have
gotta
like
make
this
wishes on
godly
him, you know.
have like this godly Namekian that created the Super Dragon Balls to be like, yo, like this is not what I intended for this shit. Like he comes and like he just fucking like wipes them out or whatever, like across every planet or whatever the case may be. Like whatever they do, like they gotta remove like tension or like they have to create tension. I'm not saying like like kind of take every Dragon Ball that's ever been created or every ability to create them, remove the ability to create them, and then take every ones that are created and like coalesce them in one, and then scatter them across like the multiverse. So like it takes like fucking a lot just to get one Dragon Ball, like a whole saga just to get one Dragon Ball. And then like the whole only way you can defeat this whatever the fuck is to get them all seven, and it's gonna take like a fucking like it needs to be a hurling journey to get these fucking things. You can't just pull up on one dude like, yo, yo, like guy who knows everything in the universe. Where they at? You're like, oh yeah, they here. And then they go get them, and then fuck everything. Like that's like the fact that Zamasu was even able to just do what he did is fucking ridiculous. Like
It's kind of
there's,
like
there's
GT
no
though. Like
security.
even though I hated the Grand Tour part of it, they had to go to different planets to find Dragon Balls.
I think you
Yeah, they made
can't
an attempt
remove
to make it
Dragon Balls
more
from the
difficult.
Dragon Ball franchise. That just sounds blasphemous to me.
Yeah, that's why I said like you gotta take
Yeah,
just add effort to get them, and like in their absence, um, in the difficulty in which you like get them, then there's stakes because now motherfuckers
exactly.
can like die.
But I don't
Like
think I don't
maybe
think the
even get
Dragon
rid of
Balls
the other realm.
remove stakes necessarily. Again, I think it's just the feeling that it just feels like there's no tension because they can just reverse everything, and they do that with the Dragon Balls. But if you're it's putting a band-aid over the wound without healing the wound. The wound would still be there. If you remove the Dragon Balls, they're just going to do some other way to revert it, or just not have things get bad in the first place. Like through Whist's rewinding of time, they didn't use the Dragon Balls in Resurrection of F, but they still reverted back normal. What they need to do is they need to make that
But
time
we
where they
had a
lose.
limitation though.
Well, either way,
Yeah, but
We
it's
can
like
only do it like 30 minutes, 30
but,
seconds or something like that.
but it will still implement it in a way that removed the stakes or
exactly.
like the
So
tension from
Mm-hmm.
what
what
you need to
happened.
do is if you're going to do it, either don't revert it back immediately, or even if you do revert it back almost immediately, have it feel like it means something even after it's reverted back. Have a lesson stick with Goku or Vegeta because of that. So it actually
I
matters.
they need to like take all these elements that like remove tension and just like put them all in like a pile, and then figure out within the story how to like remove, block, take segment away from the main story that's being told. All these elements, like you said, Whis, the gods. Like, how the fuck am I afraid when Beerus can just pull up, pop, pack somebody and then get some like soup afterwards? Like, why am I even afraid of for Earth when we know it's under the protection of like the god of destruction? You gotta get rid of these fucking things, bro. Like, get them out of the fucking story. Get the Dragon Balls, make it difficult to find them, whatever. Get them out of the story. Like all that shit, bro. Like remove like that's one thing I love about Moro. Like the transformations were kind of useless at the start. Like get rid of that shit. Move the fuck along. Move over. Get rid of all these like little crutches that they've established over the course of like multiple decades, and then actually get good writers in there to do this with their writing, and then craft a story that has tension, that has depth, that has like a villain with some kind of ideology or whatever the fuck, and then force Goku, if you want to do Goku, I would prefer Piccolo, and Gohan. But if you want to do Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, force them to conform to the way things are now. Like we can't go about this shit in the same way. Like, yeah, we can't blast our way out of this. We gotta like master techniques now, like we used to. Like, in the Tournament of Power, Master Roshi said to this group of people, like, it's a good thing I'm fighting you because Goku and his friends, like, they're so powerful, they've grown accustomed to fighting in that particular way. Like, these more tricky opponents, they have difficulties with. Have a more tricky opponent, like, these opponents, like, yo, we can't match this power. This shit is getting ridiculous. But we do have this hack-based ability that can remove their advantage, and now they have to fight us where we at. And even though we're not fighting at the highest level of power as we have in the past, the stakes are even higher, um, because like they don't have that crutch to lean in on, right? Like affect them on on the genetic level to like remove their Zenkai boost and their ability to transform. Like I don't know, like poison them or some shit. Something. Get rid of that shit, bro. And then I think you would have a fantastic story. The Dragon Ball verse is ripe for it. You just got to have the desire and like the actual talent with the writing staff. But you know,
Yeah.
just my
Just
thoughts on it.
just gotta live in that loss longer and make it actually mean something. Like especially like the Namek arc
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't happen if they don't lose in the Saiyan saga. Like that's the only reason they go to Namek in the first place. The entirety of the Namek saga is built on the foundation of their loss the entire time. And so I love that. And
Yeah.
there
Gotta
the
get their people back.
the threat of loss exists because one, there is no way to revert the consequences that can occur if they blow up the planet. The Dragon Ball, they can't use Dragon Balls. If they blow up the planet now, it doesn't matter. They'll just rewind it somehow, or go use a Super Dragon Balls or some other thing. But also the fact that Beerus didn't exist at the time, so like the threat levels actually mattered. If Frieza's the strongest, he's just gonna win. If Vegeta just beats Goku, then the strongest person is the enemy. The enemy just comes out on top. There's no one to save the day. So it has to be Goku. They have to rise above the enemy because if they don't, the danger level's so high that that threat is actually going to mean permanent end for them. It's going to be a permanent loss.
Yeah, look, this is why the history of Trunks special was so good because they removed so many of those crutches. Like Beerus and Whis existed in that universe, just within the verse. Obviously, like, not at the time they didn't conceive of the idea, but like that had no consequence to like the conflict that Gohan and Trunks were facing. Like they didn't even play a role, and it wasn't like the androids were taking over the universe. They were just conquering a planet. It was smaller in scale, but way more fucking impactful and had way more meaning. Um, you can understand it a little bit more than like this grandiose universal like Goku punches, clashes fists with Beerus and destroys a whole. Like what the fuck? I can't even like process that. Like it sounds cool on paper, but I don't care about that. It sounds like genocide, really, but it's some weird shit. Um, like Gohan's death, right? Like it's so good because number one, the Dragon Balls are gone. You can't bring him back. Number two, we have only so many fighters that can even stand a chance. So that's a big fucking loss for like humanity, right? And then like it was just the way Trunks transform in the special and like he's screaming out is done way better in the special than in the manga. Um, but it was just a master class. This is like when I think Dragon Ball is at its apex. Like the history of Trunks stuff, the android sales stuff towards the end, Goku's death towards the end felt final, definitive, and then Buu Saga fucked that up, like it fucked up everything else. That shit should have ended. Dragon Ball Z should have ended with Goku's death. Gohan takes the mantle, and then if they wanted to bring some shit back, then you work with Gohan with Goku still dead in the afterlife. Like that shit would have been fantastic. They fucked up. They fucked up. They even tried to course correct by having Gohan come back and Boo. They fucked up again. Like they
Yeah.
just it's a series that can't get out of its own fucking way. And it's unfortunate. Because I think from I'm not going to include Ball, but from like the start of Z to like the end of the Cell saga is a masterpiece. It's a masterclass. It's damn near flawless with what they're trying to do with their genre. It's damn near flawless. It's fantastic. And if you incorporate like the Piccolo Junior saga, the Demon King Piccolo stuff in Dragon Ball, even the Tien Shinhan stuff, it's that just tacks onto it. Those 3 arcs in succession is just fucking god tier. Going into the Saiyan saga, god tier. And then the Buu saga, and then Super and GT. Those things have elements that are really good, but like the quality is so noticeable. Like it's lacking in such quality, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My opinion. Although I do like the Majin Vegeta speech. Fucking fantastic.
Sure, yeah. Even their quote unquote cop out doesn't feel like a cop out. It feels like a reward that they earn in Dragon Ball and Z whenever they had to go to
Okay.
collect the Dragon Balls or whatever they do.
Oh, okay.
Go steal the Dragon Balls from Frieza's force or how they defeat Cell. It feels earned, unlike in Super where they incorporate things like the Super Dragon Balls. Like the Dragon Balls in Z especially feel like they have so many rules and limitations that are implemented so effectively, especially when they're implemented. They tell you when it actually matters. Oh, you want to revive this person? Oh, actually you can't because of this rule that you didn't know that I'm explaining to you now. It doesn't feel contrived or like it makes no sense. It feels almost natural. And again, like a great limitation for the Dragon Balls. So you can't just use them to do whatever you want. There is still risk and reward going on.
Yeah. It's like prerequisites. Like, yo, you need to know this special language to use our Dragon Balls.
Yeah, then you need Dende, you need Kamui, and you need Piccolo, and you need to go find all 7 across the world, and you need the Namek ones. Oh, but now they're rock, and it's like, oh, you only got 3 wishes, you got 1 wish here, and oh, you can't wish for this. So many things.
Yeah, I hate that 3 wish shit. It's just such a cop out. Just write it in a way that like you make the most consequential wish, and then you got to deal with the results. Like it's like it's so hard to have like a wish be like in your series like a wish mechanic with no like real side effects. Like what if the dragon was like a trickster god? Like you got to be super specific with your terminology and what you wish for. Like even something like that. Like you like because you're guaranteed to get what the fuck you ask for. Like imagine if you weren't, how much tension like would be, like even if a little bit. I think something like that could really really add to it. But yeah, we can switch topics if you guys want to.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen Dragon Ball. That's what
I'm telling you, bro.
That's
I've been trying to get
crazy.
him on it. I've been trying for like months.
That's crazy.
Before we do switch though, I'm excited to see my boy Flying Nimbus come back. Okay, the MVP of Dragon Ball. I can't wait to see my boy surfing on fucking Nimbus again, bruh. Hell yeah, I love Kid Goku. I probably like Kid
Me
Goku more than I
too.
like adult Goku. That
Me
motherfucker
too.
is a
I
demon.
always fight